Hey everybody, great to have you back here in the fish tank. It's patch day in Minion Masters universe. Patch 2.15, I think it is, has dropped today, and it's brought with it some balance changes, a new battle pass, and unfortunately a lot of server issues. Now, hopefully, if you're watching this video now, it's been a few hours since the patch has been out, and it looks like the servers are available, but they have been kind of offline or inaccessible for most of the day. It seems to be something to do with the shop. And if you check out the shop, you might notice certain parts of the shops are inaccessible. For example, I think the daily offers are currently inaccessible, whilst the devs are trying to figure out exactly what the problem is. Okay, so let's find out what we're going to have in this patch. So first of all, Season Pass. So this is going to be called Court of the Swarmer King. I believe the title of the season is called. This is going to be, as you can see, a Voidborn based season. And when we say a Voidborn season, of course, we're talking about the Battle Pass. You know, it's going to have a lot of Voidborn cards in there, as you can see here. As always, for the last 6 months or so, no new cards. If you're not aware, Minion Masters is no longer in active development from new content point of view. But we do have monthly balance patches, and we'll go through those shortly. So this is the first page of, or this is kind of the Season Pass overview. A couple of new things. I don't think we have them yet. We got the King Puff, kind of a scary looking emote. And we also have a new Mordor emote. I believe those are new. And of course, we've got some skins here. But these are not new skins. And then, as usual, we have a lot of extra content. Great for newer players. And a bunch of power tokens and shards. Right, so that's what's in the Season Pass. Let's have a look at the patch notes. Right, so Court of the Swarmer King 2.15. Now, a reminder, the way the balance is working is that the community is driving these suggestions, supporting the ones that they like and think are appropriate, and then the ones that get the most support end up going through. So if you want to get involved in that process, go to the Discord and get involved in the discussion. Right, we got some buffs. First of all, a buff to the Armor of Holy Fire. So this is going to affect Brother of the Burning Fist, which is pretty underplayed, and also the Fervent Warrior from the Valorian perk 2, which definitely got a lot of nerfs. So the cooldown is being reduced from 14 to 12 seconds. And remember, Armor of Holy Fire is where it drops the Holy Fire on the ground underneath it, which heals friendlies and damages enemies. Right, Drone Walker and Aimbot, they've had some nerf stroke reworks, and they're getting a little bit of a buff here. So the attack speed is going down from 1.5 seconds to 1.3 seconds, so it'll attack more quickly. The DPS will go up. Net Blaster, the AoE radius is being increased slightly, so that when the net comes down and it grabs everything, it will be grabbing a little bit more. And the immobilization duration is going up from 3 to 3.5 seconds. And this is likely just because it's a very underplayed card. Right, Scrat Pack now has the Scrat Swarm effect, which will give the Scrats haste. And of course, if you're not familiar, Scrat Swarm is where you have, is it 3 or 5 Scrats in the opponent's side, and then that triggers the Scrat Swarm on any cards that you might have. For example, Boom Buggy has a Scrat Swarm where it gets marksmanship. Scrat Pack will gain haste. Shroomer, health increase from 250 to 275, and damage increase from 40 to 50. So just some more solid stats for the Shroomer. Remember, when it gets to the other side of the bridge, it splits into 2. Walking Blind Date. Now, previously, I don't know, however long ago, this used to always summon a 4-Cuffs minion. And then when they changed the bridge rules, this became a very, very strong card. And then they changed it so it alternated between a 3 and a 4-cost minion. But apparently that's too weak, and it's going back to just a regular 4-cost minion. So now you can almost guarantee you're going to get your Bounty Sniper on the bridge. Okay, rebalances. Blastmancer, we've seen that be pretty strong. Especially in the last season. So Blastmancer damage increase, so that's his base attack damage is going up, but range is going down from 10 down to 6. So that's quite a substantial range reduction. And his Soul Detonate damage is being reduced as well. So Soul Detonate is where it pops everything within the area when it dies, when that target dies. Okay, so his DPS going up, but his effective AoE going down. Right, Red Golem. This one's a little bit confusing, but I did the maths and hopefully it makes sense. Right, so currently Red Golem is either a blue golem, or if you're at 50% or lower master tower, 50% master health, we got it. It will summon a red golem. Whereas now, you always get a red golem. And you get there's kind of two versions of it. Unactivated, you get a basic red golem. And the red golems had the stats change. So the basic red golem has 850 health and 200 damage. Which is a little bit better than the previous blue golem. If I get my notes, because I knew I wouldn't remember all these numbers. So that the old blue golem was 750 HP. So the new base version is 850 health and 200 damage. So slightly better than a basic blue golem. If you spawn this when you've got below 50% master health, then it gains rage and spirit. So it's always a red golem. It's either a basic red golem or a raged and spirited red golem. Now, if we do the maths, so the basic is 850 health, 200 damage, and the activated version is 1190 health when you include the spirit, which is almost the same as what it used to be, 1200, and 300 damage, which is the same as it used to be. So the unactivated version is a little bit better. The activated version is basically the same. The only sort of critical thing is because it already has spirit, you can't give it spirit on top of that. So you won't get such a massive red golem as you used to in the past. So a little bit better unactivated, not quite as good activated, but hopefully that makes sense. So it's always a red golem. Right, nerfs. Ankahesh, wildcard reduction from 3 to 1. It was one of the most heavily wildcarded cards. If you check out my meta video, you'll see that it will be in there. Empowered Soul Stealer, the amount of souls gained per sacrifice reduced from 3 to 2. Currently it's way too easy to get it absolutely beast moded. And remember, the Soul Stealer now has Vampiric, so it heals itself on kill, which can make it really, really powerful. And I'm surprised we didn't see the wild cards being removed from this, because late game, bunch of Soul Stealers can get out of control. Right, Mordar, Tomb of the Deathless, the alternate master perk, where you're reviving your opponent's minions, not your own. The minions will resurrect at the Tombstone's location now, instead of the location where they died. Netherbats, health reduction from 30 to 25. Skeleton Crew, again from my meta-analysis, this was the most wildcarded card. Not anymore. Wildcards have been reduced from 3 to 1. Remember, you can only wildcard in randoms. Spire Stag, attack speed nerf. It's going up from 1 second to 1.1 seconds, so very strong currently at the moment. A little bit of a nerf. DPS goes down. Shield God of Light, I'm quite surprised by this one. Couldn't say I've seen too many people wildcarding this, but they definitely won't be anymore. The same with the Revenant, although I definitely saw some Revenant wildcards going on. Wildcard reduction down from 3 to 1. We're getting closer towards no wildcards. Can we get there eventually? If we take a few out each patch, maybe. And the same with Reckonator. Reckonator wildcards reduced from 3. I mean, wildcard count is not quite correct. Wildcard count should be copies allowed, because then it actually makes sense. So copies allowed 1 instead of 3. Wildcard count should effectively be from 2 down to 0, but hopefully that makes sense. Right, those are the changes in the patch, and you should be able to get on and try them out now. So as always, let me know in the comments what do you think of these changes. Reminder that these are community driven changes, so you can get involved if you want to. You can go to the Discord, place your suggestions, or just support other people's suggestions if you like them. And that's how the balancing is going on so far. And of course, if you like this video, make sure you like, comment and subscribe. My name's Bad as a Fish, and I'll see you again soon here in the fish tank.